What's up, YouTube? KT here. Today's Saturday, August 1st. It's about that time. About that temperature in the garage, y'all. A little over 100 degrees. I read at 100. It was 97 earlier. You saw the stills. I got my brother-in-law's uncle passed away. I'd known him for almost 25 years, I guess. And he was a locksmith for the local school district, so he had a lot of stuff left over from his days working at the school district. And this was, so when they got ready to, settle his estate and get everything taken care of, they had a garage sale, and I went by and he had some really cool stuff. I got, this was one of the things that I got. And as you can see from the stills, this is a Wilton. It's an old Wilton screw vise, and I want to restore it, or at least get it cleaned up so so it's usable. And as you can see, this base bolt, set bolt right here, whatever it is completely stuck, for lack of a better phrase. And then you see somebody's tried to loosen it already and has bent it. So anyhow, instead of hitting it with a bunch of WD-40 or PB or whatever's out there nowadays, I'm going to try the electrolysis method. And I got my battery charger ready, and I'm going to use this. I don't know if it makes a difference or not. This is actually galvanized. This could be a mistake. No, it isn't galvanized. It's just stamped. It's stamped metal. So good news there. But I'm going to use this plate as the cathode, and it'll be in the water with the positive terminal here. This will be in the water with the negative terminal attached to it. And let's see if I can't get the rust and some of this stuff cleaned off of these. I've seen a dozen videos on YouTube, and they say the best thing to use is sodium carbonate. I had purchased some of this before for the swimming pool. We have an in-ground pool, concrete pool. Cement. We got a cement pond, and I had purchased some of this to pH after I got a little overzealous with some muriatic acid, and I had bought some of this, but it was in a little 16-ounce container. I think I paid $7 for it. This is a net weight of 55 ounces, and the little container, the HTH pool chemical thing from Walmart was like I said, about 16 ounces, 1 pound sodium carbonate, and that was the main ingredient. And so is this. This is 55 ounces. This is 3 pounds 7 ounces. This was $2.97, so it's less than $1 a pound, and I paid $7 for 1 pound in the pool section. So if anybody has a swimming pool, then they say go get some pH down, or pH up, sorry. I was trying to increase the pH. I was trying to lower the acidity. This neutralizes acid. So this is what everybody says that you need: sodium carbonate. Not sodium bicarbonate. From what I've heard, the sodium bicarbonate, which is baking soda, will work. It just doesn't work as well. So I've got in my bucket about 4 gallons of water. I didn't do the whole 5 because once I submerge the vise in there, it's going to take up some volume. It's going to raise the levels. So I'm going to go ahead and get this set up. I'm going to use a 1/4 cup per gallon, which is about the ratio that I've seen everybody using, which means I'm going to have a whole cup of this and 4 gallons of water. Get it all stirred up and dissolved, and I'll set this in there. We'll hook up the wire, get the wire tied to it, get the clamp on the battery charger and everything hooked up, and we'll see what happens. All right. It's my first time doing this, so let's get it going. Okay, I'm going to put you on the tripod, but I went and actually got my digital thermometer. That's the temperature inside the garage. That's the west. The sun's getting ready to, it's going to get warmer in here. That's why I don't get much done during the summer. I'm going to put you guys on the tripod and get everything set up, probably right down here. And so you'll see when I set the vise in and when I pour the stuff in and plug it up, and we'll see if it bubbles and such. Stand by. Okay, quarter cup. I could just do 1 cup, obviously, because it's 4 gallons and 4 quarters equals 1. But just for illustration purposes, I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm planning on doing something on a much larger scale for this when it comes to the electrolysis. I purchased, or I didn't purchase, but this guy wanted to get rid of some large tanks that he had. He runs a plastic welding business, and he makes a lot of tanks, submersion tanks for metal platers here in Central Texas. And I got one of his, I think it's about 750 gallons if I'm not mistaken. About a 750 gallon tank. And I'm going to try this on a larger scale, doing some doors and some larger body parts for some sheet metal for some rust removal, just as an experiment on my cars. So I'm gonna get this all stirred up and dissolved, and we'll see if I can get it to clear up once it dissolves, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so there's my water and sodium carbonate solution. There's my positive. Alright, so just remember, if you're thinking in terms of which goes to which, the positive, you want the particles, you want the rust to be attracted to. So positive is going to be where everything goes. It's going to go from negative to positive. So my part is going to be hooked up to the negative side of it, and the electrical charge is going to flow from the part to this sacrificial plate over here. So that's going to be the positive side. Don't plug your charger in yet. Make sure that, well, this is already plugged in. Hang on a second. And if you do this later on, make sure that it's unplugged as well, because, or before you disconnect it, because this is going to break the hydrogen bond. It's up to 102 in here as the sun starts to lower itself in the western hemisphere there. So again, this is going to emit hydrogen gas. You want to make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. I'm in the garage. I've got a couple of fans in the attic that are pulling through upstairs, pulling through my attic door. So this is well ventilated. I've got that in there. Let me go ahead and get my vise suspended across and get my negative side connected to that, and then let me plug it in and we'll see if we can get a reaction right away. Oh, I'm going to move this. There's a reflection from my... There we go. That's better. I didn't realize that reflection was right there from my fluorescent light. Alright. Alright, so I've got a piece of number 10 stranded copper wire here that I've twisted around that vise. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this up a little bit. Get a nice little snug. So it's got a good connection all the way around. Again, this is my first time doing this. I've seen a lot of people do it on YouTube, and it looks like the kind of results I want. So I've also seen people build some pretty elaborate grids as far as what the cathode or the anode, whichever one is the sacrificial one. I can't remember which, and I'll go check here in a minute to make sure I'm not talking in a turn. But I've seen some people build some pretty elaborate ones to make like that actually surround the whole piece, right? For mine, I've just got the one that's going to be on the one side, and from what I understand, if you actually surround the whole your work piece, that it pulls it away equally in all directions. So, you know, without me having a lot of time to go do something like that, I'm just going to submerge this, and we'll see how this works out. So I'm going to wrap this. Well, you'll see what I'm going to wrap this around something suspended over the top of the bucket and get it in place. And let's see how that works. Okay, I've got the part suspended off the bottom using this piece of PVC. Right down here is the copper that I've wrapped around the vise itself, and I've spooled it up over this PVC right here. Got the negative cable clamp to this. I got the positive cable clamp to this. And let me go ahead and plug it in. I've got set on 10 amps. And this is a newer, no, I take that back, that's 2 amps. This is a newer battery charger. And I don't know if it's got an automatic shut off on it or not. So if it does, I'll have to manage the process as we go along. But putting it to 10 amps and flipping it on, as soon as I plugged it in, started to get some action on the surface of the water. Let's see. Yeah, you can see it bubbling pretty good, which is impressive, because I mean that was almost instantaneous. From what I understand, the concentration that I used of sodium carbonate is pretty high. I know some people were using about a tablespoon per gallon, but I want to do this and see what kind of results I get. If I make any mistakes, I'll share it with you. That way we all know that a 1/4 cup per gallon is too much, and if everything works out, then we'll know that a 1/4 cup per gallon is not too much. But it's swirling, bubbling like crazy. Alright, it is now 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. And I'm going to let this sit and bubble and boil for a little while and come back here shortly after I take care of some other business and see what happens. I'll pull it out of the water and we'll see what kind of results we've gotten so far. Alright.